Here we go. This is what NFL fans have been waiting for. Week 18. Some teams are going to win and go on to the playoffs, and some teams are going to lose. Seeding is going to happen, and this is what determines what teams go to the Super Bowl or not.
Here we go!
All right, hello, and welcome to the game plan. My name is Slater, and this is Mike, and let's get right into it for Week 18. We're going to start in a chronological order, and we're going to start with the Steelers at the Ravens on Saturday at 3:30 Central Standard Time. Just a note for this game, there is no Lamar Jackson. I know they're looking to rest a lot of starters. Mason Rudolph is starting this week over a healthy Kenny Pickett.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the Steelers' playoff scenarios. They need a win no matter what. They
Right.
lose, it doesn't look good.
Right.
They win, a Colts and Texans tie, a win, and a Buffalo loss, or a win and a Jags loss or tie.
Yeah.
Do you feel good about the Steelers this week?
Yeah, I mean, I feel good about them, but it is the Ravens. So it's going to be a tough game for them no matter what. But I think the Steelers, should be able to win this game. I really like what Mason Rudolph has done since he's been put in as the starter. I think it's been an upgrade for the team. They've been successful. He's played really well, so I'm actually pulling for the Steelers in this.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Congrats to the Ravens who locked in the number one seed and who have not only dominated all season, but I'm pretty sure they have the MVP, Lamar Jackson, on their team. All right, rolling into that.
And Dalvin.
Yeah, well, they did get Dalvin Cook. I do like that signing as a Cowboys fan. I personally wish we could have got him,
Right.
but when I saw the Ravens got him, I was like, oh, that backfield, his playing time could jump. He could be the starter
Yeah.
over Gus Edwards and all that.
It doesn't hurt him.
I'm kind of interested if they're going to play him this week. I'm curious if they will to get him into rotation because if you're going to use him for the playoffs, you think he plays?
I don't think he plays.
You don't think he plays?
No, I don't think he plays at all.
Do you think the Steelers make the playoffs? They win? Do you think they get a Buffalo loss or a Jags loss?
I think they make.
You think they make the playoffs?
I really do think they make the playoffs. Yeah, I think they can pull it off because
I
Buffalo
agree.
has Miami, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
I think Miami's looking to be on upset alert for Buffalo.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Then our next game, which is a huge game this week, is the Texans at the Colts Saturday night at 7:15 Central Standard Time. The Colts are favored by 1.5.
Yep.
And if the Jags lose, the winner of this game clinches the AFC South. So you're still fighting for that division potentially and maybe a wild card spot depending on the Jags win.
Yeah, you got to do your part first. You got to win.
Yeah, exactly. But if the Jags win, here's some scenarios for the Texans to get in the playoffs. If the Jags win, the Texans need Buffalo loss to clinch the 6th seed. But if the Jags win, Buffalo wins, and Texans win, then they clinch the 7th seed. So the Texans win the game, they're in.
Right.
If they lose, their hopes don't look very good at all.
No.
And for the Colts, if they win, they're in. If they lose, they're out.
So who you got winning?
Man, I believe in C.J. Stroud. I think the season that they've had, and if he didn't get hurt with concussion protocol, I think he would.
It would have already.
I think they would win the division.
Been in, yeah.
I think they would have control. And you also have to go back to that game where the Jags and the Texans play, where it was that short field goal.
Mm-hmm.
That's how close they are for having their destiny controlled instead of putting it in the hands of the Jags.
Yeah, I think Texas.
Yeah, and then to start the Sunday slate, we have Cleveland at Cincinnati. That game doesn't provide any relevance, but other than go Joe Flacco, and the Browns have the 5th seed locked in.
Yeah, that's another one I love, man. Joe Flacco. Who saw that coming, right? I mean, that guy is on fire, so it's pretty awesome to see that. So definitely root for him and the Browns as well.
Yeah, and then we have the Minnesota at Detroit game. Detroit has the 3rd seed pretty much locked in.
Yeah, they can't, without some help, they can't go up or down, really.
No, because you have the NFC South, which is pretty bad.
Right.
And then the only way they move up to the 2nd seed is if the Cowboys lose and the Philadelphia Eagles lose.
Yeah.
Minnesota's only chances are if they win,
right,
a Bears win, a Cardinals win, and a Falcons or Panthers win. That's a lot to ask for. So I don't think it's likely
Yeah.
especially asking for the Panthers or the Falcons to somehow beat the Saints or the Bucks, who are literally at neck and neck for
Who
this
are also
division.
fighting for a playoff spot. So.
Yeah, but I just want to ask though, you saw what happened last time when it was a shootout. Do you
Hmm.
think Minnesota pulls off the upset, or do you think Detroit wins it this time?
Oh, I think it's going to be an all-out dogfight again. So I see this being a 30-plus point game per team. So I would expect Detroit to win the game.
Yeah, I expect Detroit to win. I'm hoping that, when we talk about the games later down the road, the Cowboys and Philly, I'm hoping
Hmm.
that they win their games too and we keep everything how it is.
Right.
Rolling off of that, we have the Jacksonville game at Tennessee. As we talked about before, the only relevance this proposes is if the Jags win, they
Right.
get the AFC South. I
Yeah.
mean, Tennessee's just had a bad year. They've been bouncing between quarterbacks. It
Hmm.
just hasn't worked out for them.
Right.
I expect the Jacksonville Jaguars to win, and if they
Hmm.
don't, it'll be a really big disappointment. And then we have the New York Jets at New England. Again, that's maybe Bill Belichick proves that he can keep his job, and Robert Saleh for the Jets proves that too. It's like a who's going to keep their job. I mean,
Bowl.
yeah, like
The bastard bowl.
I don't
Yeah.
know how that when I look at that game, I'm like, huh. Aaron Rodgers is looking at the Jets organization. He's like, you're gone. You're going to be gone. And then you got Robert Kraft in the booth doing the same thing. He's like, I'm tired of you, Bill Belichick,
Yeah.
and I'm going to get rid of you, Bailey Zappi. Mac Jones, get out.
It's
Like,
like a car crash. You don't
yeah,
want to be involved in it, but
you
you just
don't
kind
know.
of want to see how it goes and what happens.
It's like you get in the car crash and you're picking out whether you want to keep your seats or like what you want to take out of that
Hmm.
car before they take it to the car wreckage site.
So who do you think comes out on that one? Who do you think's gonna win that one?
I wouldn't be surprised if that game ended in a 0-0 tie.
Yeah. Kind of
But
funny.
I'm gonna pick New England. I'm gonna trust Bill Belichick. He's gonna end on a good note, and he's probably gonna be the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers next year. Mark my words.
Just for fun, I'm gonna take the Jets.
You're gonna take the Trevor Simeon Jets.
Yeah, why not?
And then going right off of that game, we have another big game, which it's really just for the NFC South.
Hmm.
It's the Atlanta and New Orleans game. Now, for this one, for New Orleans to clinch, they need the Bucks to lose and for them to win,
Yeah.
and they win the South. Um, if not, they need to win a Seattle loss and a Green Bay loss.
Hmm.
Now, for that one, you know, we're going to kind of talk about both of these games here because
Yeah.
Tampa Bay is playing Carolina.
Right.
I do not see Tampa Bay losing to Carolina.
You would expect them to win, but it's the NFL any given Sunday, so Carolina could pull something off there at the end, and Tampa needed this last week.
Yeah, exactly.
We
They
all
should have
saw how that
ended
went.
it.
Yeah, that should have been their game. That was their game to win, and they played. Plus, um, Mayfield's got hamburger ribs right now, from what I'm understanding. So
Really?
yeah, he took some hits in the last game. So I'm sure he's going to play, but I don't know how well his mobility is going to be and how that's going to affect his gameplay. So it's going to be a tough game for him because despite their record, Carolina's defense is still pretty tough. So
Yeah, to our viewers out there, if you're a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan and you lose to the Carolina Panthers this weekend, I feel bad for you. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. But I think if Tampa Bay loses, they don't have another chance at the playoffs
no,
either.
this is it.
Yeah, this is it. They win the South or they go home.
Right.
And then Chicago at Green Bay. Chicago's looking to play spoiler on Green
Hmm.
Bay, and Green Bay wins. They pretty much make it as the 6 or 7 seed, depending on how the Rams game goes, because I
Yeah.
know they have the tiebreaker against the Rams.
Yeah.
I see Green Bay winning this game.
Yeah, I think so too.
I hope the culture of Matt LaFleur and all that, they don't pull what they did last year with
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers and
It's going
get
to be
an
a tough
upset.
game though for him.
Oh, for sure. I expect Justin Fields to go all out.
Yeah.
And that defense that you talk about a lot, you
Yeah.
rave about that Chicago defense.
Yeah, their secondary is pretty tough.
Yeah. So then we're gonna go into the Denver Las Vegas game. Again, no relevance. Those are teams looking for culture changes, coaching changes. If I had to pick, I think I'm gonna go with Denver just because I trust Sean Payne more, other than Antonio Pierce and the Raiders. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Raiders on that one.
really,
Yeah.
You just like what the momentum they're on.
Yeah, I mean, I think they play well enough to take on a team that's pretty much in disassemble mode. So they're playing games, but they're trying to build their airplane while it's in the air. So I just don't think that's going to work for
Yeah.
them against a team that's played pretty consistent. They played the Chiefs pretty tough a couple times, so I think they can pull this.
No, I mean I agree. I mean, again, this game doesn't provide any relevance to Week 18, so I don't know how much in depth we really got to talk about it.
Yeah,
But I'm excited to see what these teams could do next year, especially with the Raiders. They have Devontae Adams. They got that coach Antonio Pierce. I
yeah,
hope he comes back. He really provided that culture change. They went on that win streak and almost got their playoff chances back.
yeah. I just don't think Max Crosby is going to let them get too much production out of that quarterback that they're going to throw out there, and I think that the Raiders can put a couple drives together and probably win this thing 13-3 or something.
So then rolling off of that game, we have Philly at the New York Giants. Philly is looking for their second seed if Dallas loses, and if not, they've pretty much locked in the fifth seed.
Right.
I feel that the Giants will give them a tough run again. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm really hoping to see the Giants beat them as a Cowboys fan, but I'm also looking for what Philly's going to do for the playoffs. They got a lot of issues to fix. These last 5 game stretch has looked rough.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think this is going to be one of those games where it's either going to be, you know, hit for hit, shot for shot,
Exactly.
or I actually could see Philly just coming out and completely murdering them.
And they very well could, but
I mean, this could be a 30-10 kind of game, and it just be over by the beginning of the third quarter.
exactly. But this has to be like one of those statement games. They've looked so bad that you need to go out there and you
Right.
need to dominate and show everyone, hey, Philly's here to play. We are going to be
Oh
the
yeah, for
upset
sure.
wild card team or the upset of the NFC bracket.
Right.
Because if Dallas beats the Commanders, they're
Mm-hmm.
looking to play the fourth seed in the NFC South, which I see them beating
Right.
whoever it is.
Right.
But then they may have to go to San Fran unless somehow the Lions get upsetted.
Yeah. So who do you think's going to win?
I'm gonna give it to Philly.
Okay. Blowout or
Um, I'm
more of the
gonna
same?
I'm gonna say about by 10. I'm gonna say Philly by 10.
Philly by 10.
And then rolling off of that, we have Seattle at Arizona. So for this game, Seattle's got their playoff chances alive. They need the
Mm-hmm.
win plus the Packers to lose, and they kind of take their spot at the 7th seed. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
I really think Arizona's gonna win this game, though. I think they're looking to play spoiler,
Oh
and
yeah.
after last week, I really liked what I
They
saw.
don't mind doing that at all. It seems.
I really liked what I seen out of Kyler Murray and that offense. They got some good things leading into next year for that head coach and that team. They just need a couple more key pieces, maybe get some veteran experience again.
Right. If Seattle's going to win this game, I think they're going to have to come out and take control of the game really early and get up on them early and just put them away and keep them there because, as you see, if you let Arizona hang around too long, they can be explosive and make things happen because they have nothing to lose.
Especially
So,
after last week
yeah,
when we saw them
absolutely.
come back.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You got to get them down and stay there. You just got to run them off.
Yeah. And then we have the Kansas City and the Los Angeles Chargers, but I'm also going to mention the Los Angeles Rams and San Fran game because they really don't provide anything this week because they're resting their starters for one. And I think they're just looking to get ready for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Veteran teams getting ready to gear up because we'll see Kansas City, we'll see the Rams, and we'll see San Fran.
So for a team like the Rams, who've had so much momentum building lately, how do you think it's going to affect the team like that who is in a lower seed but getting ready to head into the playoffs to play such a juggernaut, but at the same time rest your starters and your stars that are still building momentum? Do you think it has an effect on the team, or do you not subscribe to that resting psychological edge?
Honestly, I with the way that if they're just resting their veterans like Matthew Stafford and Cooper Cup and all that, I don't think it plays much of a I don't think it plays much. I think they're just looking to gear up for the playoffs because last year they had a really bad year of injuries and the year before they won the Super Bowl. So I think they're just looking for rest and to just get ready for the playoffs. I mean, I don't think it affects them. I think they're looking to play Detroit and they're ready to rock and roll.
Okay.
Plus, if they do play Detroit, I'm kind of excited because it's no one, Matthew Stafford or Jared Goff have never won a home playoff game at Ford Field. So Matthew Stafford, a longtime Lion,
Oh
could
wow.
potentially
Oh
win
yeah.
his first playoff game and for the Lions, except for he's playing
playing against them. Oh, that'd be
but
cool.
he could win at Ford Field for the first time.
Huh.
Yeah. So then, in the later window too, we have Dallas at Washington.
Mhm.
This game, if Dallas wins, they get the second seed.
Right.
I expect a domination game. If we don't, and we kind of do what we did last year, where Dak throws a couple picks, and
Yeah, if it's sloppy or ugly, it's not going to be
Ugh.
a good day. We got to win this game, and I don't believe in resting unless a player is hurt. Then you don't put them out there. But I mean, if you've got 6 bullets, you put all 6 bullets in the gun and you shoot.
yeah, yeah, it's one of those things. If you're up big by the third quarter, like we've done all year, like
Yeah.
if you're up big and then you rest them in the fourth quarter,
That's
fine,
fine.
sure. But you need to lock in that second seed, Dallas, because we need it as Dallas fans and as a Dallas team. We do not play good on the road,
No.
and I don't want to be on the road until the NFC Championship. I
Yeah.
would love to win 2 home games, build that momentum, and bring it on the road to potentially San Francisco.
Yeah, we need to be in playoff mentality from here forward, no matter what the situation is, because essentially it has
Yeah,
been since Buffalo.
and not only that, but if somehow San Fran gets upset by maybe the Lions or the Eagles or something,
Right.
we could have 3 home games in a row leading to the Super Bowl.
For sure.
This is
This is more.
huge.
Yeah, this is big for us. Like we've heard all week. Dallas struggles on the road. Well, if we
Exactly.
have the option to just eliminate that, let's take that shot for sure and give it everything. So
Yeah. I expect the score to be probably 20. I'm going to say 31-17. I'm going to say Commanders score a late touchdown. That's what gets them up to 17. You got
yeah,
anything for
no,
that?
I can see
Something like that?
that. Yeah.
And then my favorite game of the week, because this is just plays a lot. There's a lot into it. Is Buffalo at Miami. If Miami wins, they clinch the AFC East and the second seed. If Buffalo wins, they do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's crazy because you watch Buffalo at 6-6, and then they went on momentum run, and
Yeah.
now they're in the chance to like potentially win the second seed. Just like go from like almost non-playoffs in a couple weeks, and now you're almost at the top, right behind the Ravens.
Yeah, I think out of the entire lineup, this is one of the couple biggest games of the whole weekend is Buffalo versus Miami. So I don't even know what to expect for this. I know that both teams are going to give it 100%, and we know what they're both capable of, especially being Dallas fans. But who do you like to win this one?
I like Buffalo, and I know Buffalo's on the road and they're favored. Last time I looked in the sports books,
Mm-hmm.
but the only reason I really like Buffalo is because I think Miami has a couple injuries that are hurting for them, and I
Mm-hmm.
think at the same time Buffalo's just been on a momentum run, and I think they're just gonna keep it going. That's just my gut feeling. There's no really statistical like analysis behind this, but
Yeah,
it's my gut. My
no,
gut
I
tells
got
me.
you. A lot of times Slater and I agree on most everything, but there are times where we disagree, and
Oh, really?
yeah, and this is one of them.
Oh no.
I think I'm going to take Miami by 10 on this one.
Miami by 10?
Miami by 10.
Oh
I
my
just, I
gosh.
don't think that they're going to compete. I'm not saying it's going to be ugly. I'm just saying that when you have the speed and the weapons that Miami has, mixing it with that quick release of Tua, I think they're just going to be able to pull off some plays that you can't stop. And they can.
Yeah, I
Because no
totally
matter how
agree.
good your defense is, they catch you slipping on man coverage or something like that. They've got 5 guys on their offense that are just hard to stop. And you might cover 2 or 3 of them, but when they really need a play, they have the ability to make it happen. And I think they're going to get them. And I think as the game goes on, they're going to get a field goal snuck in on a drive, or they're going to get a touchdown snuck in on a
So you
drive.
looking for turnovers from Miami for Buffalo? I
I,
mean, like what makes it by 10? Is it just the explosiveness, or do you think turnovers, or do you think
I think they're probably going to get an extra drive off of a turnover, just because in an effort to, make a play. I think one will get gifted to them, and then they'll probably sneak in a drive on a failed drive. They'll get an extra one, and they'll get a field goal off of that. So maybe one turnover. I think Buffalo will probably punt the ball 3 times, and Miami will just be able to slip onto the other side of the field and kick a field goal in. And it won't happen quick. They may get an extra 3 points in the first half, and then by the end of the game, I think they'll add another touchdown onto the difference, and Buffalo just won't be able to bring it back in.
Yeah, so you have Miami by 10. I'm
Yeah.
going to tell the viewers and you,
Hmm.
I've got Buffalo by 3. I could see it being 24-21.
Right.
That's how I'm looking at it. I think it'll be close. I think
Which
by
could also happen. I could be completely wrong.
yeah. But I'm really excited for week 18. I'm excited to see how the playoffs shake out. And for our viewers out there, if there's something you want to see from us or hear something that we want to talk about, any questions, put in the comments below. We're, trying to grow this channel and we're looking to expand on what we would normally do.
Yeah, and we'd love to interact and have a conversation, about any of the topics anytime.
Yeah, exactly. And we do still plan on doing our live stream for
Hmm.
post game of the Cowboys
Hmm.
wild card weekend. So if you're interested in that, subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you next
Oh,
time.
you can also don't forget to check out our Prize Picks video.
Yep. We will be posting that right before this video. So until then, we'll see you next time. We're at the game plan.